Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new feature video for Citrus Twist Kits. And this time I'm going to use just the Chasing Rainbows Life Crafted kit to create a layer for my Life Crafted album. So like I said, I'm just going to use the kit. I'm going to bring a cut file, but I'm sorry, a cutout created with a cut file, but that's about it. So my idea is I want to create a layout that's going to span both sides of the page. So I've pre-cut a piece of white smooth cardstock to fit 8 1/4 by 10 inches, and I'm just marking the halfway line, which is gonna give me my two sides of the Life Crafted album. But I'm not gonna cut the paper. Like I said, my idea is to have my layout go through the 2 pages and then cut it once I have assembled. So all I'm gonna do now right now is I'm gonna pull papers that are really subtle. I wanna create my visual triangles. I wanna design them so that it points exactly to where the picture is going to go and also to the title. So you're going to see that I'm building the idea, not that I'm, happy what it's going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and glue it. And all I did is just kind of slant the paper and glue it at the top corner of the right top corner of the layout. And I make sure that the paper was right through the corner. Not necessarily you can go different ways, different angles, but my idea is I glued it, I am actually gonna cut the excess, and then I am gonna use the line that I created, the long line of the triangle, kind of to guide where the next triangle is gonna go. So my idea is I want it to look like the paper was wrapped around the layout, and that's why I just decided to move the paper, kind of follow. It's not an exact parallel line, but pretty much the same angle. And then I glue it in place, and I'm gonna cut the excess. Now that I have the blue paper in place, just adding I'm gonna say the coral paper was super simple. I just kind of parallel line it, and I'm gonna glue it in place. Again, I'm gonna glue it, cut the excess, and gonna do the same for the bottom corner, and then I'm gonna take it off camera and go to my sewing machine and stitch through every single one of the pieces. Now when I did that, I also added a third line of stitching, and that's just kind of a lower line. So I'm gonna say I stitched through the white through the layout, through the white piece of paper. And I did that because I just wanted to mark the chevron lines, and this is I wanted 3 lines of stitching. Think about magical number 3 works really great when designing. So once I have that in place, now that I have my layout complete, like not complete, but the base is complete, I am gonna go ahead and cut it using that line that I had penciled at the beginning. Now you're gonna see that when I cut it, the little tips of the triangle kind of came off, but I saved it, and I'm gonna do them because I want to make sure that the triangle is complete through the 2 layouts. I don't want the little pieces to disappear. Now that I have that in place, I'm actually gonna take some time to just get rid of all the little pieces of string. You notice that I use black thread behind the stitching, and I like doing this when I'm stitching just on white to add texture. It just kind of creates more of a texture look. It defines the stitch. If I would have used white, it would disappear. Again, it's a personal choice, but I wanted to emphasize that line, so I used the black thread underneath, and just kind of that, just when you poke the machine, pokes the holes, it just kind of leaves that little trace, a little shade, and it just brings a little bit of interest to the page. Now I'm going to take it off camera and use one of the page protectors as guide to create the holes using my hole puncher. Now here is where I said I'm going to bring a cut file. This is a cut file from July, and for the subscriber only cut files, there's always cut files available when you're a subscriber. They are free. I just had this at hand from July, and it was small enough to fit in my Life Crafted album, so I'm gonna bring it and use them. And all I'm gonna do is kind of add them behind the triangles. Just gonna glue them underneath the little triangles and a few extras in the page. And what the cut file is gonna do, even though it's cut on white, is the tone on tone. It's just gonna bring a little bit more texture to the page. Think of it, the way you think about it, it's cheating modeling paste using paper. And again, the tone on tone is just gonna create a little bit of extra interest. You don't have to do it, that's personal choice. You can go ahead and use modeling paste, or you can also just use pattern paper behind. It's completely up to you. This is just an idea. I had it handy, like I said before, and I like the fact that it adds texture and interest to the paper. It doesn't leave it completely white, but it's an added detail, and it also is going to bulk up the page a little bit more. So all I'm doing is just gluing everything in place. Like I said, I'm gonna make it look like the pieces of the cut file are coming from behind the triangles I created, and then I'm just gonna add little pieces extra just to the white parts of the layout. Now that I have that in place, it is all gonna be about embellishing. And the beauty of creating this design is that the triangles are gonna dictate exactly where everything goes. So the tip of the one triangle on the right hand side is just gonna create the placement for my layout, and the tip of the left triangle, yes, on the layout is gonna dictate where the title is gonna go. So I'm gonna bring the cork pieces, and I wanted to create a third triangle. So all I did is I'm gonna cut the little tip of the little flag, and that's gonna create a small cork triangle, and I'm gonna use it actually to point to the title. And you're gonna see that I gonna play with some of the acetate pieces to build my title, and now all I'm doing is just gonna look for a paper, and I went with this floral yellow paper card. This is one of the Project Life cards to back the picture, because I have some yellow in the title and also in the heart. So I back the picture with that. Then I'm gonna bring a piece of acetate, just because I have the acetate on the left. I'm thinking about texture and repetition to just complete this layout. So I'm gonna cut half of the circle that says better together, and just secure with a little bit of glue, and also with this cork piece. And like I said, at the little triangle at the top is gonna dictate exactly where my embellishments and everything is gonna be seated. Now I'm gonna go back and just work on the title, and you're gonna see that I found this piece of paper, acetate, that said photos of the everyday, and I thought it was the perfect title because that's a picture of my kids cleaning their rooms, and they took turns helping each other. So once I have that in place, the way that I glue acetate, I usually stitch through it, or I staple it, or I just glue. And when I add the glue, I make sure that I add the glue behind the colored pieces of the acetate. So in case the glue is not, even though it dries clear, sometimes it can have a little bit of stain, you won't see it. Once I have that in place, I'm gonna use a piece of cord where I cut the little triangle, and just follow the line that the pattern paper triangle is dictating on the picture. I added one of the vellum strips that also comes in the kit, and a few sentiments using the stamp set. After that, I'm just gonna add a few drops of gold ink, because I just wanted to bring a little bit of shine. There's a lot of white, even though there's texture. I love a little bit of shine on my pages. And that's about it. This was super simple to put together. It took no time to put together, and that's the beauty of the Life Crafted system, is that it's a simple and easy way to document your pages, and there's so much you can do. The kit's compact. This kit is full of rainbows and colors, and you're gonna have fun creating it. And as always, if you have questions on how this came together, please don't hesitate to contact me. I would love to help you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope to see you soon. Have fun, guys.